Yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah, that'd be great. And then as far as like, are they, what's the deal with warranty for this? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, appreciate that. Okay, great. That sounds good. Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. Thanks, Morgan. Okay, great. Okay, thanks. Yeah, sounds good. But sorry, having some work on our camper.
Oh, no worries.
Our like roof hatch is leaking, and I mentioned to them that like I took it through a car wash, and then I noticed that there's a bunch of water in there, and they're like, "You should, in no circumstances, bring this through a car wash." And I'm like, "You didn't tell me that, first of all, and also second of all, what the fuck? Like, it's a $14,000 camper. Like, it's not watertight for a little high pressure spray. I mean, like, what are you telling me?" Yeah. So.
Oh, that's annoying.
I don't. Yeah. Yeah. It's I gotta run, but
okay.
But that's all really. That's all. I didn't know any of that. Yeah.
I was actually hoping to kind of say without putting in writing that there was sludge in there and then getting yelled at and all that. But I was kind of like, if you're planning on ordering again soon, don't let. I don't think Sagar is going to effectively go down this rabbit hole in a timely manner for you.
Yeah.
Maybe we should talk about that.
I didn't know any of that. Yeah, my perspective was more, and that makes me think about it very differently. My perspective was more like, we see corrosion on lots of laser marks. Like if you're really being very critical about it, like parts from Instech, just laser markings, some dark marks, normal laser markings from everyone else, from other like Vient, Great Batch, other companies that are selling us PFP parts. Like this stuff just happens to laser marks too. So that was the only like point of that I was kind of thinking of, but I didn't know anything. And it does sound like there's potential for that, the actual engrave process to make it even more different. So we would probably just work with them to do like a machine engrave and then mark.
I think that sounds the most useful, and just having them talk about it. I don't think that. My guess is their process isn't that stable, and the results might like not be up to snuff.
I think I've seen laser marking like have a little bit of corrosion after like surgical use and cleaning on things from every single vendor we have. So that was
wouldn't surprise me at all.
Right. Yeah.
Non-patient contacting areas, like the risk is probably low, but like consistency. Now that we've gone down this rabbit hole, if you're gonna make a change, maybe figure out something that's reproducible.
And I have looked at those specific parts that have come back in the field. The laser marks in those holes, in those like numbers, actually looks pretty good.
Okay.
Looks pretty good for what it's worth. Like I didn't I went and looked at a bunch of parts recently. Like, I didn't see anything resembling corrosion around those things that we were originally concerned about. But like not half. A few of the other things had like part numbers where you were like, well, yeah, that one doesn't look great, and other things. So
Yeah.
fun.
Anyway, that was the backstory, and I
Yeah.
wasn't actually intending to go down Mobius rabbit hole.
Right.
But that one has been floating around in a previous conversation.
Right. No, that was perfect. And good to know the backstory from them.
All right, I'll let you go. Okay, have fun.
Wish us luck. All right. Talk to you later.
Thank you.
Hello, Zoom user.
Sorry, I'm stopping. Drag Race is like Survivor this season. It's intense.
Like actually because of the rules or something else?
Oh, like the rules, not like they're not like on an island or anything.
Oh, yeah.
But they're like in two teams and they're like competing. Two tribes. Okay.
Tribes. All right, I'm just gonna start the setup because Mark's not here yet. Or even though Mark's not here. Because we can infect first.
Yeah, I think he'd be fine with that.
Yeah, me too. Oh boy. Dude, I've been painting that fucking patch and
Oh god. Painting that fucking patch, okay.
and our pure white ceiling paint is like a different color than it was when we last painted the ceiling. So I think I would have to go buy another gallon, a fresh gallon of it, and like hope that it covers well when I do that. I mean, it's like straight up pure white ceiling flat, like flat white ceiling paint. It's like totally standard. But yeah, I don't know. It's really fucking annoying.
So you're going to be painting the whole ceiling again.
Or I may be painting, just painting one coat on the whole ceiling, which is going to be really frustrating.
I think I'm doing home shit tomorrow all day.
Home shit.
I might even do some painting myself.
We've got a bunch of blue in our first cards. This is good.
Alexa, turn off living back.
Okay, we got Atlanta too. Sweet. Oh, and Mexico
good?
City. It is good because we can start there and knock it out.
Yeah, but then we have to worry about losing that research station. But whatever, it's blue. We're fine.
No, because it doesn't outbreak. It won't outbreak from. Yeah, you're right. It's possible it would outbreak later. But not really, because you can't. We could cure it before it even has a chance to epidemic.
Yeah, this is going to be in the game the whole game. But that's not.
Yeah,
that's
true.
I'm overthinking.
That is true. It will be in the game, in the deck, the whole game. Mark, Jojen.
Jojen's trying to bury my poop copy.
Oh, that one's interesting. And Algiers. Woof.
Here.
Yo,
Algiers.
you have to mute too.
Yo. You have to mute too. Yo. Oh my god, it's like a it's like a feedback loop.
That's exactly. It's not like a feedback loop. It is a feedback loop.
So I can't do it with my headphones on.
I actually got a little bit of it because.
Yeah. Well, it won't self-perpetuate.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess it would because it's on your speaker.
All right, so those are our starting cards.
Sweet. I'm grabbing a pen and just draw that stuff. I think I need to not be lying down for this.
I'll be right there.
Okay. Those are the starting cards. Which are the 3 and which are the 1?
Right, I gotta write those down too.
I can figure it out. The left of the 3.
I find it, yeah.
Atlanta, Mexico City.
I needed coffee. Even though skiing was terrible, I'm still exhausted.
This is the winter of ice climbing and Nordic skiing.
Yeah, no, I want you to show me East Canyon this weekend sometime.
We're gone this weekend, but I can tell you where it is.
Give me the beta.
You park there and start skiing. That's the beta.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm gonna start cross-country skiing this weekend.
Good. It might be a little like this is how warm it got yesterday, and then refroze, but they probably will groom it tomorrow, is my guess.
I should go in the afternoon, not the morning.
Yeah. The first mile and a half or so is pretty flat and it starts to climb. So if you're not feeling the skating up the hill game, you can still do a couple like back laps.
Cool. Yeah, Snowbird was getting to East Coast levels.
Yeah, I mean that storm sounded pretty bad for skiing.
But Taylor is tuning all of my skis.
Like
he offered to bring him to because he gets like half off.
Oh, nice.
Christie Sports.
That's
So
pretty sweet.
I was just like, I am gonna need some edges now for the first time in 5 years. Okay, so Atlanta, Mexico City.
We have no funding, so
This might be
You're
our
kicking ass.
That last one, oh yeah, is that Hong Kong, the last red one?
Yeah. And it's actually faded.
Well, that's nice.
So we don't get to add any of our cards, any funded cards, so I can start divvying up the deck right now. I feel like we start in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes that choice pretty.
And
Well,
someone,
We also could start in.
Delhi.
I mean, there's nothing stopping us from starting in Delhi this game.
That's true.
But it would be nice to get Atlanta and Mexico City taken care of pretty quick.
Delhi's a little sketchy though, because like if you pick up Delhi, you get faded. You get a scar.
Sure, that's true. Yeah.
It's scars.
So I feel like if we can not hang, because then all four of us are hanging out there for 8 draws.
Yeah.
Which is a while for it to be hanging there.
Well, we'll figure it out when we get there.
Yep. Here are our starting cards.
Okay.
Let me get.
Just the Zoom user. That's so boring.
I know. You're very boring.
Probably gonna have to like sign up for Zoom and like use it real for my work from home day tomorrow or Tuesday.
I see 3 character cards out. I definitely agree with Colonel and Operations Expert and Quarantine Specialist. Then we need to pick a 4th person.
Yeah, I think we haven't. Well, we can decide now, but I think that's what we started with thinking about last time.
Well, I think we're going to cure blue again.
I think we're probably going to go for Cure and maybe Eradicate Blue. Eradication, if we could pull it off, would be good too, because there's a lot of cards in the discard that are blue.
Yeah.
So our first Epidemic shuffles in a lot of blue.
Yep.
So.
But our game-winning objectives, just to be clear, I just make sure my notes are correct. We have to cure all 3 diseases and either do 6 times military bases or 6 regional military bases or 4 cities with the Corgi marker on. So, with that in mind, I guess I would vote for Operations Expert, like we discussed, so we can have the option of doing military bases.
Yeah.
But probably also the Corgi Specialist, just because why not? It's super helpful.
Yeah. I mean, she can help us keep the faded thing in check. I'm not sure. Let me look at the Colonel again. Oh yeah, he can remove. He definitely want him.
There are eight cards in each pile right now, and I'm about to add. Does that make sense?
Seems low, but I guess it's because there's no funding.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna add the outbreak cards to them, right? So
Yeah,
that's right. Because don't we usually have 9 or 10 cards total, and now there's gonna be all 9?
Yeah, now it's all 9. 9 cards in each deck. I'm just trying to work that out. So that's 45.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because 8 times 5 is 40. Yeah, and there are 48 cities. So.
I'm almost wondering if we.
I think we should definitely play with the Colonel. Sorry, I've been distracted, but
Yes.
because it seems like that's going to be super key. Because remember, the new rule is
Oh no,
that,
yeah, Colonel's definitely in. I had forgotten that. Yeah, Colonel's definitely
and remember the new rule about drawing player cards
in. Right.
is
I'm just
that
trying to decide if we want the medic or the scientist.
I was just thinking the same thing.
We could, the operations expert, I'm just thinking, because like if we start in Atlanta, we can transfer some of these cards fairly easily.
The operations expert, yeah, because if we gave, unfortunately, we don't have Atlanta as one of the cards. It's fairly hard to transfer most of those, actually.
Yeah, as I
San
said,
Francisco is not impossible.
But
That's
yes,
or St. Petersburg and Essen also like could be happening pretty quick, especially if we build a research.
well, you
like
don't want to pass Essen. You only want to pass St. Petersburg.
Real quick, operations experts covering it up on my screen, but is San Francisco 2 steps away from Atlanta?
Yeah.
So I mean, if we played the scientist and started her with the S and Montreal cards, we could have somebody else start with San Francisco, Sydney, and do share knowledge, where the scientist appears blue on her first turn in San Francisco.
Yeah. And maybe give them to the quarantine specialist, because the quarantine specialist would give away.
And whoever we give it to just has to be okay with basically burning their first turn, doing things remotely, and then ending up in San Francisco.
Good, and that's the thing. The quarantine specialist can do things remotely. That she can move twice, quarantine one thing remotely, and I guess that's it.
And if we start
Oh, and she could treat Atlanta.
She's gonna flip action, yeah,
Oh, she gets a 5th?
because she's starting in the same city as Tony.
No,
I lied. She gets to look at the top 2 cards of the deck.
that will also be nice. I mean, well,
Why did we give her that? Oh, I guess we didn't think that one through. Okay. We made her the forecaster and friends with somebody, which means she has the same power twice.
no, because one's the player deck and the other is which actually becomes much more useful now than it used to be.
Yes, right.
Oh, so she's coworkers with the operations expert.
So we can if we start with her and then the scientist, we could ideally. She could look at the player deck, see if we're going to put some faded figures on, and then quarantine the city, at least one city remotely, and then go over to San Francisco.
Yeah, I think we should do that and do the scientist and just try and knock out blue.
Yep.
Because there's a fair amount of blue out on the board, obviously.
And then
Yeah, I think I concur. I was trying to think through if we could still cure blue pretty quick with the medic, but I couldn't come up with anything.
The medic is a little less helpful just because,
Yeah, because of the faded.
I mean, the other thing we could do, no, not quite.
I guess we would give the colonel the card, the deli card. So we can get over there and start doing his thing.
Well, he can go through the research station to get over there.
True. And there is a military base in that part of the world already.
And I think we should probably build a military base in Atlanta first off.
And operations can do that, right? Yeah.
I think that's useful because if we always will start on Atlanta
Yeah.
if our research stations fall. So I feel like having a military base in Atlanta is probably quite useful.
Yeah. So we're pretty sure we're doing this.
We have the hands necessarily, but
I think those are our hands, right?
okay.
The other thing to remember is the operation.
Operations expert could build he could go to Manila and build a Pacific Rim military base.
We already have one.
We already have one in Taipei.
Taipei.
So
We probably want one in like Moscow or Istanbul.
Maybe-
Istanbul. No, that's too.
Oh no, Istanbul is really close. Maybe Moscow.
St. Petersburg.
yeah. So sorry. So does that okay? He's got St. Petersburg as a card. Okay, that's great. And then the regions. Where do I see them again?
There are
They're
these
the lines.
white lines. So it's basically South America, North America, Europe, Asia, Pacific Rim, and Africa.
Okay, I was looking for the Asia Pacific one. I missed it.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to pee real quick.
So we'll need military bases in. We'll build one in Atlanta right off the path, and then most of one in South America, Africa.
Yeah.
This is doable. Yeah, I think an operations expert should build one in Atlanta and then go build another one in St. Petersburg, honestly.
I kind of concur.
And whoever's going first should take a cube off Atlanta just for fun. We can figure this out. I think we have some options to start.
Yeah, we'll see who starts first. It's gonna depend. I don't think. I guess it doesn't matter who has the Delhi card because we all can get to Delhi anyways.
I think keeping it like this makes sense because then ops expert can go straight to St. Petersburg and fill the.
What's the idea behind having the quarantine specialist be the one who has to give the card over as opposed to the colonel?
Because on her first turn, she can do a remote action. And whoever has to do that has to basically chill in North America for their first turn.
Yeah.
And the colonel should probably head over to Asia and start removing, and maybe
Yeah.
we can think about other things.
Remember that the operations expert also has the remote coworker share with the colonel.
Yep.
So he can, if he goes to Osaka, the colonel can give him Osaka
Oh, that could be useful for.
because it's only one away, and it's only
Yeah.
one away from that military base.
Let's see how we start. What's the starting order here?
Yeah. Are we pretty sure we're good with what we did here? I think we're pretty good.
I'm pretty happy with it.
Let me just double check some things. Okay, we don't have to do anything until the end of our first game in May, but we have something to do after this game before we do our game end upgrade. I'm going to take these objectives off and get this set up. We did funded events. We don't have that. We prepared the player deck. I did that. There are 9 cards in each pile.
Great.
We should assign the colors. So I'm just going to do this out randomly.
Yeah, and in terms of order of operations, let's have going clockwise. Let's have quarantine before scientist.
Like,
hope scientist doesn't go first.
Like right before, or
might as well. I guess it doesn't really matter, does it?
If we go right before, there's 2 options which would let us cure on our first round, and if we go afterwards, if we go out here, then there's only 1 option that would let us cure on our
right
first
before.
round. Yeah. And I guess the operations expert. This one doesn't really matter, I don't think, but we'll put him there.
Yeah, that's good.
And then remember also
going before or after the colonel in general.
So the local pressure thing, let's see, we probably want him to go after because he's going to be basically taking cards from the colonel.
Yes, I think you're right.
And the colonel's going to be probably in black doing stuff. So he's probably going to need to be in red or assuming red because he's going to have 2 cards, like trying to pull cards from the colonel, as opposed to the colonel being somewhere else passing cards to him. So another thing to note about this player drawing the player cards. So I think this is good then, right?
I'm happy.
Do we decide where we start first?
Atlanta.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think we start Atlanta.
Sorry, I'm just making sure I did all these things. Okay, after we select everything, we get to remove 1 faded figure from the board.
well, definitely Karachi. Does Moscow also have 3 or just 2?
Moscow's just 2.
Moscow has 2.
Yeah, it's gotta be Karachi.
Brown goes first, which is the quarantine specialist. Woo!
Perfect.
Oh, perfect.
That's actually super great because she gets an extra turn, so she can also cure Atlanta on her way.
Is the scientist blue?
Scientist is white. I'm gonna lay these out the way we usually do.
Oh, Colonel's blue. Sorry, the cards clearly don't pop as much on these cards.
Yeah, I know they're hard to see.
No, that's fine.
Okay, that's pretty good. We did one up here, I think. One down here. Okay, and just as a reminder, so when we draw a black card, not matching a faded city, but matching the color. So any black card, we have to add faded figures to that city.
Yeah, just a black card
Yes,
or a faded city card.
matching the color. That's what yeah.
Always look back.
Who wants to be? So we've got these two have a connection, coworkers connection, and these two guys have a coworkers connection, and the scientist just has the extra card. I don't think we're gonna forget anything about the scientist. Scientist needs to be extra card, and obviously her special power only need 4 cards, and then the outbreak thing. She can be in cities when it outbreaks, but not faded cities like normal. And then, so I guess we should all just choose one. I can be Parker. You can just keep being the quarantine specialist. Don't forget to forecast.
Take the operations guy.
You'll take operations guy.
Take the operations guy.
Okay, I'll take Colonel. Whew, new one. All right, next thing, game-winning bonus. We're starting with a quarantine specialist. I already decided that. We're going to take one off Karachi. Yeah, I guess that definitely makes sense. I was kind of thinking so the Colonel, he still gets scars for being in a city with faded figures.
Yeah.
So that's a thing. Oh, and we should also keep track of we need to keep track of which black cards we've pulled from the player deck. So that we know that.
I can do that.
So we know what's safe. You know what I mean?
So we know which ones are still left.
Because actually, we know that Delhi will not get faded, extra faded. It could get normal infection faded, but not from the extra deck. And so we took one off Karachi. I think that makes sense. The only thing I was thinking is there any point in taking one off Hong Kong because it's like that outlier? But
I mean, we can
Die pretty quick, unless we epidemic and draw. Which would suck.
I feel like it's better to take one off the 3, and then we can maybe have the Colonel go over there and take out. I don't know.
okay, yeah, I think so
Seems
too.
like,
I think so too. I was just trying to make sure I'm not missing any mechanics there.
I mean, I don't think it's just as far as Moscow, really.
Right. So remember so the operations expert, he's got local pressure, right? So he can quarantine from a military base. He can quarantine adjacent cities.
Yep.
So he might be spending some time in Baghdad.
Yeah, I think that would be a pretty awesome turn to quarantine all those black cities.
Yeah.
planning quarantine Moscow and stuff.
Yeah.
Alright, so quarantine specialist. We should do her, let's do a calendar out of that.
QS.
We should look at all the top two cards.
All the top 2 cards. Okay, so infection cards that are coming are Essen and Bogota. That's pretty good.
Ridiculous.
And the player cards that are coming to her are Hong Kong and Kinshasa. Those are also pretty good.
Pretty good. Cool.
Oh, right. Oh, sweet. So she's a good. She could be a red cure,
You're right, Cure, yeah.
except that she can only get. Well, we'll see what other people pick up. I guess.
Because otherwise, I mean, she's close to Manila at the end of her term. So that's good. All right. So now we need to get her to San Francisco and do some. Do we want to quarantine anything remotely with her?
Definitely quarantine remotely Karachi or Algiers. Algiers is the furthest, or Moscow, because Moscow is the highest panic level.
I guess Moscow jumps
I
out.
think let's start with Moscow.
Because also it's in the just they're all spread out.
It's as far as anything else from.
Well, Algiers is kind of but yeah, they're all two from something.
Because he's going to build a military base in Atlanta, right? Operations expert. I think so.
And then he's a veteran, so if we want to, we can send him immediately to Baghdad
Or we could send him to Taipei. He could build a military base. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Go to Taipei, quarantine his local pressure thing, and then go to Osaka. And then on the next turn, on the colonel's next turn, you could give him Osaka, no matter where the colonel is, or something like that.
But we'll just have to see who draws what.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So she has 3 more actions. 2 of them are getting to San Francisco, so she has 1 more action. She should take a cube off Atlanta.
She could take all 3 off Atlanta because of
right.
that thing. Yeah, so I think you're right. I think she does all that, takes all that off, quarantine. That's 2, 3, 4. She actually still has another action.
Why?
So because she started. Oh no, I was wrong.
Oh, that's not an action to place the remote quarantine, is it?
No, it is.
Oh, it is.
It is. I was just thinking that she had 5 because they started in the same place. That was wrong.
I screwed that up earlier.
Cool. And you guys notice that I'm now in San Francisco.
Hey, look at that.
Look at that. Cool. So we already know what's going on.
Okay, and then the next thing we do is draw these 2 cards, right? Yep. And then the next thing we do is draw these 2 and infect Essen and Bogota.
Trying to figure out why my video isn't widescreen like your guys' is, but you know.
In your video settings, I think you might be able to change it.
So the scientist's turn is also pretty straightforward.
Yeah, move to.
Pick up San Francisco, cure blue.
Does she need a turn for that though? She doesn't need a turn for that.
She does not need a turn.
Oh, that's not an action for her.
Not even an action. So she does have 1 extra.
She should start heading towards Mexico City.
Cured blue. Boom shakalaka.
She could be our blue eradicator potentially. Just walk over her next 2 turns. I guess she's take actions to remove them, right? Or no, I keep forgetting the dates.
She does. She does have to take actions to remove them.
Oh, it's medic still, okay.
Yeah. It's just that if you treat, you always remove all.
Gotcha. Well then, I mean, she could still do that.
She could just start walking somewhere. Yeah.
2 turns of her. Or
Either she's heading to Mexico City or she's heading to Montreal. You make that decision.
Yeah, I guess maybe Mexico City.
Yeah, that way if more yellow stuff comes to the board, you can get a lot of action too. You
Yeah.
can still get over here on Mexico City.
Well,
Other
and also like Washington and Montreal aren't that far out of the way from there either. So
true.
cool.
Okay, done.
Done.
Epidemic
Yeah.
and Bangkok. Son of a bitch.
Ooh.
Oh boy. Wow. Okay. So, well, we got some safe turns at least coming.
Yeah, we have what?
2.5 safe draws.
Yeah, it was like 2. Yeah, all right. This is the first card of it. We're on the operations specialist, expert posting things.
Yeah. Okay. So, infection. Move the thing up 1. Infect from the bottom. Ho Chi Minh City. 3 red.
Wait, wasn't it Bangkok?
What?
Oh, she got a Bangkok card.
Yeah.
Oh, I misunderstood that too. Okay, so it's Ho Chi Minh. Which is good because that's not a favorite city.
Yeah. Not yet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy. And our scientist got 1 red, which means that she's still tied for the
Tied.
lead.
I'm listening to you too. What's going on?
All right. So I shuffled, and then we put them on top, and now we infect 2. And those are Karachi and Montreal. That's pretty good, at least.
Sorry, Jeff. I need to get my computer. Karachi.
The ladies just got back, guys. So I'm gonna chat with them briefly.
Cool. Karachi and what did I say? Montreal?
Yep.
Oh boy.
Montreal.
Wow. And it's the Colonel's turn. So what are we going to do with the Colonel? Should probably go roadblock Karachi.
Or definitely take one off Karachi.
Well, 1,
He can.
2, 3, 4. He can't take them all. He can't take them all off, so he can't stay there.
Oh, I always thought he could only do that once per turn. That's pretty fucking awesome, actually.
Yeah, he basically just gets to remove them.
Well, fly to Baghdad. What can he like actually do? He can fly to Baghdad. Move to Riyadh. He can't.
He
One,
can't. He
two,
can't
three.
fly to.
He can't. He needs to basically be in a city one away from Karachi.
He can't fly to Baghdad. He has to fly to Delhi.
Right. Right, because we have both the thing.
Yeah.
So if he flies to Delhi, he could move somewhere, quarantine it, and move back to Delhi, or quarantine Delhi and then quarantine Mumbai, maybe, or Tehran.
So
So if he flies to Delhi,
Wait, hold on.
moves quarantines, then next turn from Tehran, he can take all of the Karachi off.
But roadblocks. Let's just think about roadblocks.
I feel like, well, maybe, yes, let's think about roadblocks. I feel like they're definitely most useful for following cities.
I don't know. You you increase the panic level. Oh, I see. Because it's basically like that city's gone,
Yeah, it's hard to like get into the city.
but it's really hard to get into a fallen city, anyways. But also, it's hard to get into the city. But right now, there's no way to remove a roadblock, right? So, like, if we roadblocked Karachi right now, we would just never have to worry about it getting pulled. We could just leave that one alone. Like, quarantine is only good until the next time it gets pulled.
Well, but if we do that, then the panic level is going to keep going up if it gets pulled.
Oh, the panic level goes up. That's true.
So, like, I don't know how useful roadblocks are until things start getting out of control, and we have to like abandon cities. I don't know if we need to abandon Karachi right now, especially if we're about to cure it. We're just discussing roadblocks.
Okay, I'm sorry, whose time is it now?
It's the operation expert.
Oh, right, okay.
No, it's the Colonel.
Colonel, right, as I say, that would mean you jumped, or you can fast forward. Okay.
It seems like the roadblocks are definitely useful
Yeah.
when a city is fallen, because you can just like abandon it. But if you roadblock it and it outbreaks, the panic level goes up. So I'm not sure if we should. I feel like we should focus our energy on quarantining and curing right now, and then yeah.
Yes, I don't know yet where a roadblock would be helpful.
I think the roadblocks become very helpful when things get out of control.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
maybe around Karachi, but we know Karachi's not coming back for a while.
Well,
right.
so my idea for the Colonel would be to fly to Delhi, quarantine Delhi, move to Tehran, quarantine Tehran, and then next turn he can move to Karachi and take all three off.
So quarantine Delhi and Tehran, basically.
Yeah.
Or Delhi and Mumbai. I'm not sure if there's a difference.
Probably go to Tehran, because if Moscow will get pulled soon.
Right.
Moscow can come up. Mumbai is not until the next epidemic, which is
Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, definitely Tehran.
That's a good move to me.
I have no problems with that.
Although, should he instead quarantine Karachi because Karachi could come up? Oh no, Karachi already came up.
Karachi might come up. The only thing we're risking there, and I'm not saying it's worth changing his move, but that leaves us exposed to an outbreak from Mexico City.
Sure.
There's a 20% chance we get Mexico City on this point.
That's true.
So, not sure. My instinct is to gamble and then have the operations expert deal with that, but
Yeah.
because you're thinking of having him use Atlantic against Delhi, right? Not his card.
Yeah. Yeah, because then he can fly out of Delhi to anywhere.
Yeah.
But
What cards does he have? He has Osaka.
also, it's worth thinking about.
Well, and what's his relationship is what?
He and the operations expert can give a card if one of them is in the city that they're giving.
Great.
I kind of think we risked the Mexico City outbreak. It doesn't have any panic level.
I do too.
I mean, it could be bad for sure. And we need to
We have 3 people over there, so we can mop it up pretty quick.
Yeah.
I like the quarantine idea. Like, it just seems nice to be proactive with Black.
Yeah, I think I concur. and have the operations expert then take care of Mexico City, and then maybe end his turn by going to St. Petersburg or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he can fly to St. Petersburg and build us a military base in Europe.
Yeah.
Which we
Then we
definitely
only
need to do.
Then we only have, well, he has to build one in Atlanta too. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, but like, or he builds one in Atlanta and then moves to Mexico City and quarantines it. That might be what he does.
Sure.
Or cures it. I don't know which is better.
Scientists going through it, so you can probably just quarantine it and she can cure it on their turn.
So we're gonna move him to Delhi, quarantine, move him to Tehran, and quarantine.
Yes.
And
Yeah, I think that's
that is good because he'll be sitting on a quarantine city. So even if we infect Tehran, so as long as we don't, well, and we can't double infect it because we know what the infection deck is. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So 1 quarantine, 2 move quarantine 4.
and if we get Mexico City,
Cities,
it's
yeah.
gonna suck, but the science is protected from getting a scar. So
She would have to be in there anyways, but yeah.
I just realized that. But I mean, it does suck because it's connected to 5 cities. But
Yeah, it's a rough one.
it would be annoying, but we can deal with it.
Let's just not drive.
All right, ready? First,
Wait, we can't look at it. Okay.
yeah, we don't have anything special here, I don't
Yep.
think.
What do we got?
So because his thing is roadblocks.
Place.
Oh no, anyone can place roadblocks.
And they can place the bird box. He's able to move through them more easily.
Right. Okay. Okay. 2 yellows. Interesting.
That's not bad.
Well, it's annoying because he's terrible for curing. But we could potentially have someone be hanging out in yellow doing stuff and
Well, he can do the shared knowledge thing with
with the operation.
Yeah, maybe we should just see plant because Manila is not too hard to get that
What's
card
the
to
second
her.
one?
Huh?
It's LA and
Miami.
Miami.
Miami, yeah.
Yeah, he could end up passing those to a walking around ops expert later.
Algiers and Hong Kong.
Okay. Not the worst.
Hong Kong is
The best.
faded though. And
It's
Algiers.
nice that we have a military base in Taiwan.
Yeah, it is. God damn, this is a tough one now. This is our last safe epidemic draw. Okay, so ops expert. I kind of think we need to do some damage control fast.
Yeah, but I think
Prioritize damage control over building a military base in St. Petersburg, but I would build one in Atlanta once there.
you should build one in Atlanta and then go to Mexico City and deal with it. That's his turn.
And take one off Mexico City.
Yeah. Or quarantine, whichever way I think is more useful.
Wait, can he get Miami as he walks through from the colonel?
No, because he only has 4 actions. So
Right.
build.
But he could do that technically.
Yes, he could do that.
Yeah, he could get to Mexico City, but he couldn't do anything about it, which is a bummer.
Or he could go to Mexico City, get Miami, and not cure, and cure one, and be done.
Not build a military base.
He could build a military base on his next turn, which would be all right, except it would be really nice if the quarantine specialist on her turn could get to Baghdad or somewhere. I mean, Delhi's not that much different.
Yeah, I feel like
It would be really nice for the quarantine specialist to be over here so she can
I think we want the
why does
military base in Atlanta. I think.
I think we should get the share knowledge thing his next turn. He can walk through Miami. It's 2 action. It's 2 moves. It's not the end of the world.
the only problem is that the other one's LA, so it's like
I think he on his next turn he should go to LA, get the card, fly to St. Petersburg. and then he can get Miami next to Atlanta.
And
Later.
for the cure.
Yeah,
Because it's also next to the research station, so that he could do that all one month. You know, could also.
that sounds good.
I like this.
Yeah.
So one last
So his
question.
turn right now is just build the military base, go to Mexico City, and quarantine it.
We could build the military base in Mexico City,
True.
which would be a little bit better for his turn.
It also allows local pressure to feel nicer there.
Mhm.
That's what-
He could quarantine Bogota remotely on the next turn, which we know that's going to be in our stack for a while.
Kind of like that idea.
And we don't have to make that one permanent at the end of this game. Like, I do like having one in Atlanta, but we can always build one in Atlanta as the first move if we have him playing.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
So does that sound good?
Yeah.
So it goes 1, 2, cure, and then build a military base.
The only thing is that that forces the quarantine specialist to go to Delhi on her turn.
So
Well,
that's the only thing is that if we had the military base in Atlanta, she could go to Baghdad.
yeah. Let's think about where we want to send her.
wait. I don't see the difference. They're both 2 steps away from her.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I don't know what the difference is.
Yeah, Parker, she can just walk here.
Remember, Atlanta's like uselessly hard to get to.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, I forgot she's in San Francisco.
Okay.
cool.
I mean, she's definitely flying to Hong Kong on her turn, unless we don't want to use that card.
All right, so Operation Expert turn is done. We didn't miss any special powers. Julie's accused me of missing a funny New Yorker cartoon, and while the New Yorker arrives in the mail, which is my defense, so I didn't see it yet.
We didn't
Sorry.
start in the same city as a friend, so that never happened.
All right,
I think we're done.
we're done.
And those two, yeah, we got those two. Ready? Ho Chi Minh would hose us too. That's the other thing we want to get to soon.
Yep.
Luckily, these are red cards. Ho Chi Minh in Mexico. And then we infect, and we get Essen and Washington.
Those are good polls.
Those are pretty good goals.
Also, the operations expert is looking more and more like a yellow cure.
Yeah, agree. He's gonna have 3 pretty quick.
He could have 3 really quick, yeah. Oh, but he needs 5. And there's potential
Also-
for
But he just has to draw another one, or the colonel has to draw another one. Sorry, they
Yeah.
each need to draw one more potentially, or he could draw 2 more.
right.
Or the colonel could draw 2. Who knows? Anyway,
Who knows?
all right, so let's game this one out. We could get another epidemic on this round, but hey, we should look at the top 2 cards.
We should probably
Can
do
we
that.
get another epidemic?
Yes,
Yeah, we're now in epidemic territory. Possibly.
the second of the 2 cards drawn.
It would be pretty fucked up. Look
Okay,
at
so we're on the operations, the quarantine's turn now, right?
we get to look at the top 2 cards of the
Of the
infection cards.
infection deck.
Those are going to be these 2, Moscow and St. Petersburg.
Moscow. What do I
Actually,
not
it's
have
not
Moscow?
bad.
What happened to my Moscow?
That's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world. Ho Chi Minh is coming up soon. So I kind of almost
We'll
want
get
to,
to the next draw almost.
yeah.
Well, 50-50.
No,
Same
50-50.
No.
I kind of want to send the quarantine specials there.
Where's there, Ho Chi Minh?
Yeah. 2 steps.
Well,
2
She has
steps.
that card, right?
She could walk to Ho Chi Minh, quarantine it. She can just go there in 2 steps.
well, so has Algiers been drawn and I just didn't mark it?
Yeah, Algiers was drawn.
And is
Yeah.
Mexico City also? No, Mexico City is still in the deck. What do you have in the deck right now, Mark?
Atlanta, Mexico City, Bogota, and Ho Chi Minh.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Moscow and St. Petersburg too, but they're
I'm
coming up.
counting them as out of the
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But she could remotely quarantine Algiers too.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
I don't think she needs to go to Baghdad unless we want to quarantine Baghdad to keep it safe. Like, I don't think we get much out of sending her to Baghdad, except for that one
No.
thing.
I don't either. And she could get there from Taipei on her next turn if we go to Ho Chi Minh. Ho Chi Minh's a problem.
Or we could do Ho Chi Minh remotely.
That's true. Then she doesn't have to walk there.
But she has to walk somewhere.
Yeah,
And Ho Chi Minh at least gets her close to Hong Kong too.
yeah,
That's true. So if she walks to Ho Chi Minh, she's like in the city. She can quarantine remotely.
exactly.
Do quarantine.
And if she's in Ho Chi Minh and it's drawn, the quarantine marker stays too. So
That's a very good point. So I think she should go to Ho Chi Minh,
Mhm.
quarantine it, and then for her remote one, maybe
I think Algiers, and just get it taken care of. But maybe I'm wrong about that. Do we?
I kind of think Algiers too,
I think Algiers, yeah.
unless
Just in case she gets an epidemic.
we wanted to like, yeah, cover. Well, yeah, we would still want to do Algiers. I think you're right.
So the odds of Baghdad being drawn are low before her next turn.
Yeah, I agree.
They
Okay,
have to be the bottom of the deck, basically.
so 1, 2 doesn't cure, quarantines, I guess, instead of cures. Oh yeah,
Because then because she's there, right? So it'll keep it.
yeah, it'll
keep
keep
on
it,
there, so it's a little more special.
and then do Algiers remotely. I think that's it.
All right, so draw her player cards.
Epidemic.
Ah,
Wow, top of that deck.
It's gonna be one of those games. Hey,
so that means we have how
We
many
get-
safe turns then?
We get a bunch of safe turns.
We have
These
3 safe
two-
turns after her.
These two do not get pulled, Moscow and St. Petersburg, so they go back on the top of the deck.
don't they just stay on the top of the deck? So we still know they're on top, right?
Exactly. Yeah, so those are coming up.
Which is useful.
Yeah,
Figure out how to mark that.
I know. I had already crossed them off. They
Is
were.
it St. Petersburg then Moscow?
It is St. Petersburg, then Moscow.
I have them numbered.
Parker, can you explain this to me? This is always the part I get fuzzy on. Like, what gets pulled next for the infection?
So I have 3 categories on my list: discard, on top, and below last. So Karachi, Montreal, Hong Kong, Algiers, Washington, Essen,
And Seoul.
and Seoul. Where the hell did Seoul come in?
I just drew it.
Oh, and so okay.
Oh, okay. Go now on shuffled on top of the infection deck. So those are going to get drawn first, but we still know that below those are St. Petersburg, then Moscow, and then the 4 cards in some order.
Okay, so the ones that have already been drawn are going to be drawn again before Atlanta, Mexico City, Bogota, Ho Chi Minh, Moscow City.
And St. Petersburg, not Moscow. So like we know now what the top 7 cards are, and then what the next 6 cards are.
Yeah.
Below them. So we have like 2 groups we now know.
Exactly.
And
That makes sense. We're still only drawing 2, so that's nice.
yeah,
I think we might get fucked up for a while here in the middle of this game. Like, we might lose some stuff here.
This could, as long as we lose decisively, I would feel better. Like that game where we lost, where it just went on and on. We just kept getting led. It's really rough.
Montreal and Karachi.
Really?
Yeah. So Montreal gets 3. Karachi gets an outbreak. We lose these 2 quarantine markers. And Mumbai and Riyadh get things. And we get a panic level on Karachi. Oh. Is that 2? Huh?
Yeah, although we did have some quarantine markers, so that at least helped. But it sucks. Still feel like
In retrospect, well, I don't know. It feels like it's been forever since the Colonel went, but I guess maybe we should have quarantined Karachi as like instead of those 2 randoms.
Yeah. That's smart.
yeah, because it had a chance of being drawn.
Yeah.
But,
Well-
but at that point, we were almost through. Or no, I don't know. It's a weird checking.
Yeah. Okay. And then did I put one on the other one? Montreal, yeah, I did.
We have at least 3 safe draws. 4 is not a bad guess either.
Right. No. Oh, yeah. No, we have 8 cards left. We have exactly 3 safe draws. 4
Oh, I thought
safe
we had
draws.
7. Never mind. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 4 safe draws. That's not bad.
So we will get back to the Colonel before the outbreak again. So
Okay, well, yeah.
Karachi can get dealt with.
Yeah.
So it's whose turn is it?
It's the scientist.
Quarantine specialist. It's now the scientist's turn.
Now the scientist turn. And the quarantine specialist is looking a lot like Kieran Red.
Yes. So the scientist doesn't need to take care of Mexico City anymore. So she could go to Montreal and Washington.
Yeah, and those
She here
Go to she can cure Montreal and then do something else.
and get to Washington. And we know Montreal's out of the deck. Washington might get pulled, so that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
And then
And then her next turn, God, it takes forever to fucking eradicate, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's why we should maybe not count on eradicating.
Okay.
I'm feeling like we might need the operations expert on his turn to like fly into Baghdad and then quarantine everything or something, as opposed to flying to St. Petersburg. Because he does have that he can like quarantine the spokes real quick.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the spokes aren't that concerning, right? Like Karachi is really concerning, but we know that that's
Well, I would say
Mm,
that
that's-
Riyadh
That's gonna deal
and
with that, hopefully.
Mumbai are concerned because if they get drawn in an outbreak, then
yeah, that's true.
the outbreak. But I just think we need to quarantine a lot of stuff in black.
But hang on, I feel like I'm being convinced that aside from Montreal, we should maybe remove eradicating blue from our list of priorities. It doesn't help us win the game, and I don't think it's going to be what makes us lose the game if blue gets out of control. Am I correct? Am I correct in thinking that?
The other way to think about it is we do have a lot of blue cards in the infection deck, and eradicating it would help with that, but that's not necessarily
What's going to break us?
right. But I think the scientist can't really do anything else besides take care of Montreal. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if she draws a blue card in like Europe, she could be the one to build the European military base potentially. But yeah,
True.
True.
Or she could use it to fly somewhere good.
yeah.
And
Or
if
she
she
could draw a South America card and head that way real quick on her next turn. Washington.
She can also fly in. She cannot fly to Bangkok. Sorry.
huh.
It's weird that we're not using her card collecting power, but whatever.
Well, we might be soon. She might get 2 reds.
Yeah, if she gets 2 reds, it's true. It's true.
So I think she should end on Washington, which also leaves her next to Atlanta, which may be useful, but probably won't.
Yeah,
I think that makes sense because
yeah. We just need to have more information about what's coming before we know what to do with her. So I think, yeah.
From it-
Montreal to Washington.
from Atlanta she can get to Delhi, which is potentially very helpful.
What are her two powers again?
Nothing useful right now.
Oh, also slab.
Slab. We're not playing with slab. All right, so I think that's scientist's turn. I agree. Ready?
Let's do it.
Ooh, Moscow. Jesus. Oh wait,
Wait, how? Wait.
So
Oh,
we have a quarantine marker on it.
but Moscow.
no, sorry, I don't think we do. I think I forgot to take it off.
Why would it
No,
be taken off?
why would it have been taken off?
We haven't drawn it.
We haven't drawn Moscow.
Oh, we almost drew it, and then
Yeah.
right.
We could draw it right now, which would be a huge fuck you game to us.
No, we
cannot
can't.
draw it
Right now or not. Yeah, we still have the.
Okay.
Alrighty.
But the nice thing is we no longer have to worry about drawing it
Yeah.
from the player. So there's that.
Oh yeah, I'll check that off.
Maybe it was a good thing that we do it now because
I forgot about that mechanism. Fuck. Oh god.
Yeah.
oh,
Well,
I'm definitely keeping track of that. That's on my
I have it too. There's so many that we haven't drawn that I'm like, god damn. Alright.
yeah, and she doesn't. Unfortunately, it doesn't set us up too well for her to cure anything.
No, we're hoping for red, but it didn't happen.
she cannot fly into Moscow either, which is
All right, now we
But
infect
she could build
Washington and Algiers. Whew. Washington's good. Well, sort of. And
Washington and
Algiers.
Do we outbreak in Algiers?
No,
Oh,
we had a quarantine marker.
Well, I feel less dumb.
Anyway.
Yeah, so I feel less dumb because Karachi, yeah. All right.
how many people does Hong Kong have on it?
2.
2? Okay. Good. And Essen also has 2. And Seoul has does Seoul have 3?
Seoul has 3. Yeah,
It was an epidemic.
there's an epidemic. Right, so that's in there too.
Okay.
To
Seoul is a
outbreak.
problem for next turn.
Just start that out there. Yeah, although I don't think it's the problem the Colonel should focus on. We probably need to gamble on Seoul.
Yeah, I got a 1 in 50% chance of it getting pinged, but I don't see what we can do with it. I mean, he could fly out of Delhi directly there and cure it, but it seems like a waste. I feel like he should quarantine Karachi on his way to Riyadh and then remove the figure from Riyadh.
Does he have to be in a city to remove a figure? I
Yeah.
think he's just in a region.
From your city, if there's a military base in your
Yeah, it is
so
from
there
your
has to be
city.
a military base, but you have to be in the city. Well, we know what the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards are, and none of them are Riyadh. So do you think it's maybe better to take off 3 from
We don't
Karachi instead?
know that because it could be pulled from the deck.
Yeah, but Riyadh only, but like Karachi could be pulled from the deck just as likely.
Oh, you're right. Oh
Yeah.
fuck. As could
And like
Algiers.
Riyadh only has 1 on it. So
Right.
I think he should just do his plan and take off all 3 from Karachi, and then that significantly reduces our danger zones.
Is there any reason he couldn't? Is there any advantage taking 1 off Karachi and 1 off Riyadh?
I think it's I don't know, but it just seems like it's better to just take off 3, and then we have 3 less to worry about. But maybe
I guess one thing about it is if he's in a city without a quarantine marker, he could get a scar by next turn.
Yeah, that's true. If we draw Riyadh or wherever he winds up, yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked that Algiers and Karachi are not safe right now.
Well, then maybe he quarantines Karachi and then ends up in Riyadh and takes one off.
Or shouldn't he maybe he takes one off Karachi, 1-2, goes to Riyadh and quarantines it?
No,
I don't know,
because
but then there's a figure there.
then he gets, yeah.
I guess he should probably take one off Karachi instead of quarantining it because they're the same. And if we don't draw it, then Karachi has one less.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And anyone else
his next
can
turn
quarantine
could
Karachi.
be move to Karachi, take off 2 and quarantine it also. So,
Hmm. That's true. And then we know that that'll be coming up again.
Yeah.
But we do need someone to get Algiers somehow. But okay. And Seoul. I mean,
Don't think we're
I mean,
this game.
yeah. Okay, so we're gonna move here, take one off. Move to Riyadh. Oh no, wait, sorry. We're gonna quarantine or just take one off both? It's same difference as quarantining it, right?
Yeah, I think it's the same difference.
If that card gets pulled,
I think no, it's not same difference. I think it should take one off.
because anyone else
Because-
can quarantine it.
Oh, right.
Because it's just like it is the same, so we might as well remove one because we don't get it. Then there's one less character.
Yeah,
Unless
and that
they-
way, if we somehow lose the game on Faded Outbreaks, there's one more guy.
That's
Yeah,
right.
No, I mean I think because there's no difference, we should take them off
Yeah, I agree.
because that's better.
All right.
Oh man,
And
this is stressful.
we can no longer fly in or out of Karachi. Remember that too.
I literally don't think unless. I mean, he could.
No, I think this is the move.
No, I know. I'm just like, just hold on a sec. He could go to like that doesn't even help. Him going to Osaka, that's like all he could do would be pure soul, which might be worthwhile because 1, 2, 3 quarantine.
It's just an outbreak, though.
It's only 3 places, fortunately.
Yeah,
Apart from Soul level 1.
I guess it is just one outbreak. So.
Yeah, and I don't know what else we do.
Well, but also, it's going to happen before the quarantine specialist, and I don't know. The operations expert really can't get there. Well, actually, he could fly from Mexico City to there if he wanted to, but we kind of
Once per turn as an action, he can move from any city containing a structure to any other city, including riding, collapsing, and falling by discarding any city card. So he can go straight there on his turn.
Oh, that's fucking useful.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I guess we just gamble that it's not gonna pull.
It's
50-50.
1/3 chance. So odds are not terrible. Actually, that's not true at all. It's
2/3.
2/3 chance that we're going to pull it. So, and like, what could the operations expert do on his turn? He could fly he could fly to Karachi, quarantine 2 stuff, and then move out of it. So maybe it would be worthwhile for the colonel to take care of it, but because like what we just do with the colonel isn't like super awesome.
It's true.
But then how?
I just like I know
back?
it's just an outbreak, but it is an outbreak. So the colonel can fly to Delhi whenever he wants.
That's true. You gotta do it.
Or the
Just
colonel
wondering if it's
can.
worth trying to prevent it because we can. You know what I mean?
Well, instead of ditching Osaka, shouldn't he ditch Delhi and fly straight there?
Because he started in Tehran, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he needs, oh,
And then he could take 2 off, or
Take
he
2
could,
off,
or he
yeah.
could quarantine Delhi or something on his way.
Yeah, I would take 1 off and quarantine Gelly on the way.
the only thing that's nice is that if he's on Soul, well, he can do that anyways. Sure.
Alright.
He can fly back from
And then
A
maybe he'll
to
pick
get,
up some
to
reds.
Baghdad.
Maybe he'll pick up some reds and send them to the operations expert on his next turn.
Yeah, although, yeah. It's also possible that operations is going to Asia and quarantine's got 3, so there's that option too.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so we're gonna go fly to Delhi, quarantine it, fly to Seoul, take 1 off.
Well, should he also, is that all he can do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
I think that makes sense. Yep, that makes sense.
All right, draw 2 cards. Done?
Mhm.
2 blues. Motherfucker.
Atlanta and what?
Paris.
Paris.
Paris is new.
Does
Oh,
mean
he drew them. I'm spacing out, sorry.
Yeah, it's pretty useless. Although Atlanta could be useful.
we might be able to eradicate blue on our next turn.
Oh man, that sounds too good to be true.
Anyway, I feel like we're gonna have other priorities, but okay, yeah.
We could eradicate blue by. I mean, I agree. Because he's got St.
Hold
Petersburg.
on. We're going to wait.
Anyways.
What's he infected? Let's start there. I don't disagree with.
Yeah,
you.
no, I'm with you. 2
I
reds.
feel like
Seoul and Hong Kong.
Nice. Well played, guys.
I think that was good. Seoul.
Hong Kong kind of sucks, but we can deal with that.
Hong Kong sucks, but we were gonna get it before we fix it.
Okay, so
We're gonna get
It's worth
Essen in the
noting-
wild card next time.
No, we're gonna get Essen
no,
and
Essen
St.
and
Petersburg.
next time. Oh, right. Say that's St. Petersburg. Okay.
So that's why I was not sure we could, but that doesn't actually change that.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have the operations expert. The scientist is currently on Washington. So I still feel like the operations expert should start quarantining Black.
But like really we need to quarantine. He can fly anywhere.
Right.
So he should probably go to Karachi.
Yeah.
Quarantine it. Unfortunately, he's gonna end up stuck on a city unless we do something fancy.
No, not necessarily. You can fly to Karachi, quarantine quarantine Riyadh, and move to Tehran, or move to Tehran and quarantine Tehran, or quarantine Riyadh and move to Delhi.
Move to Delhi, yeah.
And then we have,
Wait, say that again?
so if he flies to Karachi, quarantines Riyadh, and then moves to Delhi.
He can't quarantine Riyadh.
Can't quarantine Riyadh. He's not in a
Yes, he-
military base.
Oh, right.
It's only if he's in a military base specifically.
Well, then he should move to Tehran and quarantine Tehran.
Yep. I think that's probably right.
Yeah. Then he's protected.
And discard St. Petersburg, probably.
Yeah.
I think so.
Because he can walk to Europe if need be.
Yeah.
And I still think
also
the
can-
scientists could probably eradicate blue and build a military base there, Strasbourg.
Right.
He also can fly anywhere from Baghdad.
So, yeah.
That's
Okay.
true. Yeah, and Tehran's a good place to be.
Yep.
So we're sending him I mean, and just to, there's no way he can do Algiers, right?
I
Because
mean,
Don't see a
he
way.
could fly there, quarantine, but then that's all he can't.
Or in 2 places, which is 4 useful to us.
yeah. Okay.
And the quarantine specialist can take care of Algiers.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the play, and I think he discards St. Pete's, right?
Yep.
Discard St. Petersburg. Move
Yeah, he definitely discards St. Peter.
to
You want
Karachi.
him to have Bailey stuff.
Yeah, and he does Karachi and Tehran, and that protects him from scars and all sorts of good stuff. Another thing he could do, just to not this turn, but maybe next turn, would be to just like build a military base in Tehran. Because he can basically go anywhere at any time by building a structure and flying out of it.
Well,
So
Let's see where we are next turn we get to.
yeah,
yeah,
just
let's
to,
see. But we need one in Europe if we want to do that. So it almost might be better for build one in Moscow.
maybe, yeah,
Just to end the game.
That's only one extra turn.
true. But
Right.
he can quarantine adjacent stuff from his spot. So yeah,
For
just to, that's like, those are the things he can do. So those are the things he can do. The fucking, he's going to be discarding cards this turn, but that's all we can do. All right, sorry, thinking ahead. All right, draw 2 cards.
he has got some pretty useless cards. So.
He does. Draw 2 cards.
Although he does not have Delhi anymore, so you should get rid of
Bunch
that.
of cards.
Thank you.
The Colonel does not have Delhi.
This is true. 2 cards are Taipei and Washington. That's so he's pretty close to 4.
Oh yeah.
Because
Well,
he
so
needs
is the
4, he
quarantine.
needs 5.
He needs
So is
5,
the quarantine specialist.
but we don't have an avenue to get her for.
Well, like
I think that's probably my chauffeur.
Taipei can get transferred pretty easily to her.
And then
Hey, Dana.
Osaka can get transferred to Ops. So
I mean, she's over there, and the operation
Okay.
expert can move over to meet her wherever she is pretty easily. So there's that. Like we could actually just do technical share knowledge with
Right,
Shooting
yeah.
City and the Netherlands.
yeah, that's what I'm starting to see.
I
can do it
when we get home.
So there's
Yeah, that's
lots of options.
That's
And the Colonel is also. Oh, the Colonel can give Osaka.
No, we're
Yeah,
probably
that's what I was thinking, but actually, I think I'm agreeing with what you were just saying, Parker.
Okay.
Yes.
well, I'll leave in a sec. You said 15 minutes, and then you hobble out. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Yeah, bye.
Perfect. I have to pee soon, so.
Sorry, what happened?
So we're gonna have to take a break soon.
Yeah, maybe like one more turn.
Let's do one more turn, take a break. Sweet.
So operations
I've
expert,
lost track of where we are. Sorry.
We just finished the operation expert's turn.
and then I infected Essen and St. Petersburg as we knew was going to happen.
Right.
And so next cards we're going to draw are Moscow, Atlanta, Mexico City, Bogota, and Ho Chi Minh.
Moscow has 2 guys on it.
I mean, you know,
Yeah,
Moscow's
2.
definitely getting drawn first.
Oh, and we know Moscow's coming next. That's true.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Yeah. Or maybe.
I mean, we can look at the other card too to see if coordinates specialist.
Wait. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
we can-
Can we?
finally get it.
Oh fuck. We should have thought. So my thing that I was just saying, we could have, and I feel like still could because we knew exactly what cards were coming if we wanted to. We could have flown him straight to Tehran, built a military base there, and then quarantined Moscow and Karachi.
That's true.
That's what I was
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
We should do that.
It was gonna be a skin of our teeth game. I think we can allow ourselves.
Well, hold on. Could he also quarantine Tehran?
No, because it's fly, build, quarantine, quarantine.
I think it's worth the risk.
'Cause we knew Moscow was definitely coming.
Yeah, we knew that was the next draw, and we knew it was Essen St. Petersburg on his draw.
And we could, the colonel could rescue him. If required, probably.
Yeah, I mean Tehran, right. Especially we could probably figure it out somehow.
I'm okay with that.
All right, so now we infected. All right, so now it's the quarantine specialist.
Now it's the
Look at
quarantine
the
specialist
cards,
turn.
Moscow and something else.
And this is our last free draw.
What is the second infection card, Jeremy?
Oh no, we don't do that yet because it's the quarantine specialist turn, right?
Right, but she's the forecaster,
We're
so we
looking
know
at the next
we're
one.
looking
Oh.
at the next two.
That's her power.
Ho Chi Minh. Oh, perfect. Oh shit, sort of perfect.
Not
What is it?
perfect.
We kind of want her to stay there and Moscow.
Well, if we can keep her there, she can be in position to do a walk with the ops expert on his next turn.
So
potentially.
she could walk to Hong Kong, quarantine somewhere remotely, and walk back, and then she effectively does 3 quarantines because we keep Ho
Yeah, I
Chi
think
Minh.
that's
That's
definitely
it,
what.
yeah.
So she
Yeah.
quarantines Algiers, walks to Hong Kong, quarantines, walks back.
Yeah, I think that's
I don't see a better move than that.
I mean, that's pretty bomber move.
yeah, that's effectively getting 3 quarantines.
And if Bogota or Atlanta or Mexico City come up, we don't give a shit. Those
Yeah,
are
we're
not
fine.
bad deals for us right
And what do you mean if they come up? They can't even.
Like,
Right?
For the
now.
next
Like
infection,
after,
the next
yeah.
infection, like they're in scientist turn.
Right.
those are fine cities to have.
Okay, so that's I think good, right?
So
And-
she needs to draw her player cards.
Draw her player cards, which are Chicago and Buenos Aires. Come
And we're
on.
gonna.
It'd be really nice if
I mean,
she
it's
drawn red,
kind of
but
nice that we're not drawing these black ones, but like
Yeah,
the
they're
more these
coming.
other ones we draw, the quicker, like all of a sudden we're just gonna be drawing black ones.
it would be really nice if she had drawn red. That's all right.
Yep. And then we know that these two, Ho Chi Minh and Moscow, both. So basically, I just take the quarantine off Moscow.
Yep.
All right.
And that's the end of her turn.
And that's the end of her turn. Coming up are Bogota, Atlanta, Mexico City, and then Mystery. Then we're into total freshies.
If we get there.
Yeah.
All right. Reconvene after pickup and dinner.
I could do one more.
All right, let's do one more.
One more. Okay, so
Also, the video.
is it working?
Crapped out, but let me see what it does.
Is it working for you, Parker? Can you see?
Yes, it is working for me.
We must have started downloading something. Oh no, I'm back. Okay, we're good.
All right.
All right, scientist.
Scientist. God, so useless.
She is incredibly useless this game.
I mean, she did cure blue right off the bat, so we needed that.
So she can fly to is that Santiago? So she can't fly anywhere.
Or useful. Oh yeah, 'cause Santiago's got 2. Yeah. Should she just focus on eradicating blue? But she'll have to double back for Atlanta at some point. Or somebody else can get it.
I mean, she also could.
Essen and St. Petersburg are at the verge of outbreaking.
Yeah, and there would be a double outbreak, and it would be pretty bad because
yes,
when we
maybe she should
epidemic-
go to Essen and deal with that.
1, 2, 3.
she could fly to Moscow. No, she can't.
1, 2.
She can't fly to Moscow.
Can't fly Moscow, unfortunately.
Doesn't really matter. She can't cure both of them because she can't get directly to either of them, so she can just cure one.
So
She
by
can
doing
only,
that,
she can only cure Essen. She can't even get to St. Petersburg.
Right, right.
by doing that, she can prevent a double outbreak I'm just trying to think because then we're leaving Washington with 3, but
Oh, because Washington has 3.
it's probably worth taking care of the double outbreak.
I mean, if you get to choose one or the other.
Yeah, hopefully somebody can get back to Atlanta to deal with Washington if we ultimately decide to eradicate blue and
Well, the Colonel game. So,
Oh, we also have to remember her scar, which is she has to discard a card to use a shuttle flight. So it doesn't matter right now.
But isn't the shuttle flight from research station to research station?
Yeah. Just we just have to remember that if we ever do that.
so why doesn't she go to Europe then?
I think she goes to
I
Essen.
think she goes to Essen and
Curious Essen. Boring turn.
and then we might need to use, depending on how things look when we get to the Colonel's turn. I haven't thought through it all, but he could fly to Atlanta.
Yeah, I don't know.
But we might need him to do something
I
else.
love how we just keep the Colonel not doing the thing he's good at, which is removing his creative figures, but that's all right.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of got hosed by that orientation of the turns. We would have had that outbreak there.
Yeah.
But we're also fairly safe until we epidemic. But next epidemic, we do go up to 3 too. All right, ready?
Ready?
Chennai, ugh, and Mumbai.
Okay, so Chennai needs a black thing instead of Mumbai.
Yeah. And then we infect to Mexico City and Atlanta. Yikes. Next turn, Bogota comes up.
Sorry, what just came up as infections?
Mexico City and Atlanta.
City and Atlanta.
All right.
So, crazy idea to think about for when we come back. If we're fucked and we're not going to win, we should eradicate yellow. If we can. Like, one thing we could do is we could just be like, fuck it, let's or red, one of those two, and then we can use both of our game end upgrades on it. And we'd be able to say, you know, you no longer need to be in a research station and you don't need to spend an action. Both of which are pretty good, not huge, but definitely make it
Very good.
easier to cure it and eradicate it in
that's
the future.
I missed the first thing you said, but I assume it's we kamikaze at that point.
When and if we decide to do that, yeah, we have to kamikaze.
I agree. Because I don't see our end game yet, which makes me think we're going to lose.
The only thing about kamikazeing is that if we are going to lose, we have to like lose somehow, and
That's true.
that's going to involve a lot of outbreaks, a lot of like.
We still have to cure both of them, so I feel like that discussion might be a little bit down the road.
I agree. That's true.
I do agree with you, Dermot, that is worth doing if like shit is hitting the fan.
And we have the opportunity.
Yeah.
But we can't just like decide to kill ourselves because there's no way to end the game without lots of permanent damage being done.
But
Put the faded figure on Chennai and Mumbai. Yeah, we did.
they're there.
So we're done with her turn. We can pick up with the Colonel.
We can pick up with the Colonel.
Great.
And she drew 2 non-epidemics.
Why is Chennai like neon yellow?
It's because it's
Oh, it's the first city.
City 0. All right.
So, are we just gonna?
Text us whenever.
I guess I'll text you guys if we want
finish it
to.
another day.
Huh?
You want to finish it tonight or another day?
I don't know.
I'm down for later.
I can probably do later. I'm going to heat up dinner. We're just doing leftovers, and I need to get some things ready here, and then I can play. Let's try for tonight.
I mean, I can do whatever. So
We'll try for tonight.
So we'll just check in.
Okay, cool.
Check in when you're done with dinner, both of you.
Yeah,
And I'll just be on standby.
cool.
Cool.
All right, I'm ending the
Bye, guys.
stream. Bye. Yeah, Dana. I think it was. There's no one else.